Sorry, hold on. Almost ready. Ooh. Okay. How's life? What are we doing? What's going on today? Okay. I just need you guys to know this. I need you guys to know this. Enable TTS for lawyer costs. That's what Kick is for, okay? Watch me from kick.com/destiny. Me and Melina went to like a castle in, I want to say it was like Alabama or Georgia or Louisiana, and it was like a schizo dude that built it. They were like, it was not finished even close. There were no roofs or anything, and there was like tons of writing on all the bricks. Anybody have any idea what this place was, or have heard of it before? Remember you talking about this, or her talking about this? Yeah, I looked at my photos and I just don't have. It's not Colorado. It's south. It's in the south. Why are you saying in Colorado? It's not in Colorado. It's in the south. It was a place we went to in the south. Didn't you stream from there? We might have tried to stream from there. Coral Castle? No, not. That's like in Miami. Why don't you Google it? I tried Googling around for it and I couldn't find it. Fuck! There's footage, maybe Melina's stream. You guys were walking over there and there was graffiti all over everything. Yeah, was it, Carrie, do you remember what state it was in? You made an Instagram story of it? We might have. I think I did, yeah. Not Coral Castle. No, this is not the South. This is in like fucking Miami. No, it was in the South. Stop leaking random shit. You're gonna trigger me. It's too early for me to get this triggered. Wasn't it on your Instagram stories? It might have been, yeah. I just don't know. If it was in Florida, it could have been Castillo de San Marcos. No, this guy was schizophrenic. Brown people aren't schizophrenic. It was a white guy. Hi, I'm black. Am I welcome here? Of course, low based. It's Greenback Castle. It's on your reels. Greenback Castle. Wait, was it? Oh, it might have been. Oh, shit, maybe.
Hey, y'all, I'm Carolina Tony. Today, we have a very special treat for you. We are in Greenback, Tennessee, and we are fixed at...
Think a bank's that even... See, I'll meet you up here and feel we do it.
Oh, wait, is that the guy who built it? The guy that's talking to him, this dude?
Yes, sir. So you built all of this?
Oh my God.
So you know it's God. You see a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Unfinished stuff. You see a lot of trash and stuff.
Yeah.
So people coming down hit me in the yards and everything.
Stop! Everybody in all three chats needs to say happy birthday, Ivan. Or Even. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Yvonne. Ivan, happy birthday for our wonderful YouTube mod.
So I believe you said you were 78 years old?
Yeah, next month. So that's about the same thing.
Yeah.
I said, I'll meet you up here in the field. Someone will cover space. You want to see me? It's covered. Look right here. Here's the message of Christ. Come right here. Look here. Watch your step, brother. Okay, now anything you see on this building with nails in it, I did it. This came up. This came up. Look, see the Christ image? Don't pay no attention to the red paint because I circle it in red paint.
Yeah.
And the dog, Christ's dog's got his butt against his heart and chest.
Imagine home defense from this shit. I feel like you can think of like so many cool, sick fucking self-defense gun situation things that you could set up that would be awesome. And then like in real life, you just get like randomly shot by some dude with a pistol and you die immediately and it'd be the lamest thing in the world. So I don't know. I feel like this is just like a feeling that in real life, war and killing and all that shit is just not very cool. Probably.
He said, hey, I've been dog long enough this stubborn world, see the donkey ears? I've been dog long enough for this.
This was the real?
I don't even know how.
Stop! Why? No volume control! Oh, no volume!
Castle in Tennessee. This is some fucking A24 shit, guys.
It is really weird.
I don't know how to describe, like, what the fuck any of this shit is.
This
I don't know if this is like a real castle from like Civil War days, or like if some like crazy random person like built all this shit. But we're in like a I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say we're in.
Why'd you bring up this castle again? I don't know, I just remembered it. It's fucking weird.
What?
It's so creepy in there.
Yeah, no, every fucking room of this place
it's even worse than
is
this place
fucking
is super
creepy.
weird.
There's somebody watching us, I bet, from the fucking forest. They're probably just staring at us.
True.
Jesus Christ.
At your own risk.
sleepy world. See,
I guess this is the guy that built it, though.
Yeah.
And he said, I ain't gonna burn you all.
Uh-huh.
You all just go ahead and start counting it out.
Uh-huh.
Did I miss something? Why does Jesse prefer to have us watch him on Kick? Because I make more money on Kick, okay? So watch me there. Kick.com/Jesse.
Yeah, make yourself at home down that way, and I'll cover cement here. So I hope you get to walk all the way through it, you know. And I'll meet you up here. Just take your time, and I'll meet you up here to show you. You won't see that floating tree.
Okay.
Paying the Almighty God, right?
All right.
How long has it taken you to build this?
30 years. I started at 47. I built the ground down.
Uh-huh.
Somebody said, "What'd you add on to?" Yeah, I didn't add on nothing. And I was showing him. Look right there. There's a message from Christ right there on the wall. Look at that dog. It's got his blood against it. Don't pay no attention to the red when it first came up.
I thought you saw the owner and builder guy while you were there, right? Wasn't there some weird old dude you and Mel saw? I don't think so, was there? Or maybe there was. I don't remember.
When I put the black paint, it done away with the red, so that ain't got no message. He's saying I've been dog long enough for this stubborn world, don't years. For this sleeping world, y'all ain't gonna burn you all, but you all just go ahead and count.
So it's been like this how long?
11 months. Now let's finish that little tree as big as your wrist ain't even touching it.
Yeah.
Does that rat bone dude going to chat with you? He seems like a chill guy. Probably not. Didn't seem like a chill guy at all, but good meme.
And there's vines, but the vines, Satan's trying to pull it down. Ain't no vines hanging from up there, and I've killed most of the vines.
Yeah.
Look here, it ain't got no trunk down here. It's busted, it's broke. It's rotted all the way through. See,
Yeah.
it's rotted all the way through.
Right.
Okay, you know how you break a stick, it bulges out?
Uh-huh.
It's broke.
Yeah.
And God wanted us to make sure. Lightning didn't strike this. Look here, God busted this year so we could know this trunk ain't no good. See how that's split?
Yeah. So lightning hit it.
No, he just make sure this ain't holding it up. See, I'll show you some special places, special pictures, okay? Look at this, my thumb has went through every one of them. Wow. It's a double wall here. That's went through every one of these. I don't even use a groover. And I'm still on thumbprints. They're a million bricks.
Oh, so you do it with your...
Yeah, because I used to climb up there and I leave the smoother down on the ground. I started doing that. And look, it's got to be a million bricks. That thumb's went through a million bricks. Even stuff in stones. Every bobby you see here. This is a little jailhouse that the kids they play in, take pictures, take vendors of it.
Oh.
I'll show you this desk around here. If you would sign a business book, I'd be honored, okay?
Have you seen the new Kanye song? I've seen it. I don't care. Kanye is like, this would have been funny like 5 years ago, but he's so late to the fucking ironic Nazi game or even the unironic Nazi game. I don't know. It's just like not, he's like severely mentally ill. So it's, he's severely mentally ill. It's not funny or cute or clever or anything. It's just cringe. It really is truly just cringe. Like Kanye is like watching a white dude discover the N-word for the first time on Xbox Live, like the first Xbox Live.
Man, these people took my kids from me, then they froze my bank account. I got so much anger in me, got no way to take it out. Think I'm stuck in a matrix, when I fuck's my nitrous. Yes, I am a cook, I like when people fuck on my bitch. The shit that I'm posting on Twitter, they telling me, hey, don't say that.
It's a good song, just shit lyrics. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I listened to this morning. Listen. I miss the old Kanye. Okay.
In public, I'm driving an all-chrome Maybach.
Like, I don't like all this overdriven, nasty fucking shit, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Just stay on you when I want to. Hey, I'm glad to meet you. Y'all made my day. I just want to walk up here for a...
Oh, well, we're glad that you... That's a pretty far walk.
Hey, I'm telling you. I think it's like making another year too. That's something I miss you do it for you.
I hope so.
If you own a gun over a year without negligent discharging at least once, you aren't handling it enough. NDs are a natural part of handling weapons, just like tweaking your back is part of weightlifting and car accidents are part of driving. I ND several times a year. space. Honestly, it's just sad seeing such a talented individual going off his meds and nobody beside him helping him get the help he needs. Yeah, he needs somebody with strong push. There's two people at fault. There's the parties that are around him that are taking advantage of it and are too afraid to push back. So the enablers. Enablers are some of the worst people in life, by the way. And then the second issue is him, because he's probably largely choosing to have people in his life that are enablers. But the problem is that Kanye West has one of the worst. He's just set up so well to be crazy and not trust anyone around him that it would just take so much for him to overcome that. Kind of like I say, like for my background, like I think I have a decent enough rags to riches story that I could be like a crazy conservative individual fucking retard or whatever if I wasn't careful. For Kanye, you got to consider this guy was told by so many different people that he wasn't a rapper. He was never going to be a rapper. He was just going to do production for other better rappers, and that was his whole life, and his rapping sucks shit. Like, I can't imagine this guy back in 2004? I don't even know how long ago, was demoing Jesus Walks for A&Rs, and people wouldn't sign him. People were like, I don't know, man. I think you're just like a producer. So, like, considering how much he had to fight through in his early life to be accepted as an actual rapper, and then to make it, and then to be the fucking, arguably the most, not arguably, inarguably, for at least a period of time, the most popular rapper in the world, you've like set yourself up to never trust anyone around you. And then to develop mental illness on top of that, like, holy shit. I don't know. If you're planning on researching the fall of Yugoslavia, yeah, of course.
But there are those in the administration who, just like tariffs, want trillions in new taxes, and they're the exact same people who are saying, gosh, we should raise taxes on the top level, and that would be a tax on every small business, every job creator. And you know what? That's what Kamala Harris campaigned on. That's what she promised. And I got
Man, listen to the end of College Dropout for sure. Hell yeah, I did.
to say the folks in the administration, they've decided to call themselves
last call, right?
Populist, but just being a Democrat and wanting higher taxes and more regulation, that's not populist. That's embracing the failed ideas of Jimmy Carter and Joe Biden.
Why don't you think Drake goes through the same shit? He set up to actually kill himself with all the shit going on around him, but he's somehow still taking it pretty well now. I don't know anything as much about Drake's past, but Drake to me comes off as like grew up like a rich pampered kid and was always like set off well. Like, wasn't this guy literally, wasn't he a Degrassi actor before he even had a music career, or did that come after? I feel like Drake has been set his whole life. Not to take anything away from him. I mean, he's accomplished a lot, but I don't know if Drake ever had a period where he was like totally down in the dumps and if you don't listen to Tyler, the Creator, then you don't like music. I don't know what it is, but like, I feel like Tyler, the Creator is the biggest gap between guy that makes like amazing music to songs I just don't like. Like, I feel like so much of Tyler's music is so good, but I just can't get into it. Like, I can listen to appreciate it. I'm like, it's a good song. It's just not for me. I don't know why. He's got a good singing voice and everything too. Fuck. Tyler's actually so cool. What was that? He made one album. I have a few songs of his on my playlist. What song am I thinking of? Fuck. The music video is like, I think a piano catches on fire or his hair catches on fire. What am I thinking of? Fuck, what song am I thinking of? Yeah, Flower Boy is an amazing album. Oh, Earthquake.
3.
This is the music video for this.
Pearl Edwards. Here. Not Smokes.
Who does the production for all of his, like the actual music? God, this album has so many good tracks. He does it all? He is the creator? There's a song of his that I have on my playlist that has a feature by Lil Wayne. I hate Lil Wayne's albums, dude. I've listened to everything up through like 2010, I think, and I just hate his albums. But his features are so good sometimes. It's like Jay-Z. Oh, it's this Hot Wind Blows track. This is a good track. This track is sick. And Lil Wayne's verse on this is sick too. This is such a good song too.
Let's not do that.
All right, back to politics.
Let's be real populist, which means fighting for blue-collar work.
World War III by Kanye. Tell me your opinion. Kanye was created, I think, to draw like a clear delineation between the generations or something. Like there are so many new Kanye songs, but like, oh no, check that shit. And it's like, I don't. I hate it. I actually hate it. It's bad. Like if you were to ask me if this was released under anybody else's name besides Kanye West, it would be a flop. You'd be a shitty SoundCloud rapper that would be forgotten instantaneously. You wouldn't even be forgotten because to be forgotten implies that somebody knew you at some point. But then when you're like a Zoomer, you're Gen Z or whatever, you're like, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, the new Kanye track is actually fucking fire. It's actually so, and I'm like, it's gotta be, it's just, it's a generation divider somehow. Somebody in the CIA psyoped like the generation divider. It's like, okay, millennials, how do you figure out, you know, who's millennials? Like, well, hard millennials, meaning you're definitely a millennial, was my beautiful dark twisted fantasy or whatever. You're definitely millennial. And then there was one in between where you're like, it's like the soft launching of Zoomers combined with like the fall off of millennials. It was the one that came out immediately after. I don't think it was Yeezus. There was one more between. Was it Life of Pablo? Yeah. Life of Pablo was like the one album where like some of the millennials I think held on, and there's like a couple of I think okay tracks ish. I think right. It was Bound on that one, and I think Ultra Light Beam, was that Life of Pablo? And then Yeezus is just fucking dog shit. And everything Bound was Yeezus? Okay, even that song was shit then. Fuck Bound. Everything, Bound 2, it's just dog shit. Everything past that was just dog shit. Just pure ass, dog shit, horrible, trash. All of it, okay? All of it. All of it. Trash. Him having Schizophrenic... Yeezus was before the Life of Pablo. Oh, was it? Okay. There was one album right after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy that I feel like people were in the millennial age bracket were like, eh. And then after that, it was just like dog shit. All dog shit. Ugh.
Biden, let's not do that. Let's be real populist, which means fighting for blue-collar workers and jobs. That's what I'm doing every day, and I think that's
Listen, tell me it sounds bad. Nice. Like, this isn't the worst song ever. It sounds like it was made in Ableton, but it's not the worst song ever. I don't know why I don't like it. I could start giving reasons, but I literally could just be backwards rationalizing it. I could be post-hocking it, right? Like, I feel like the instruments don't mesh well. There's not a lot of space in the mix. It just sounds like garbage. I don't know. That's what it just does to me. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It just sounds like garbage. Also, like, compare that to like would this be like a similar-ish vibe? Oh my god. I think I'm just, like, even just listening to the fucking sample on this, I think I'm just, it's just an old thing. It's because I listened to it when I was a kid, and that's why I just can't defend it. But this is just, like, just the song on this is just... Not some fucking every single thing that this motherfucker says now has to be through some filter, auto-tune, or whatever the fuck. I'm not even like hating on auto-tune, okay? Akon and T-Pain and all these guys, it's cool. You can, and I loved 808s. 808s was an amazing, 808s is an amazing album, okay? This was a good album. But even in this, I don't know if it's, I don't know if I would just say there's space in it or if just it's... It's a good song. Well, the percussion on this is good as well. It's a good song. This is a good song. This song, and then the music on this. This album is just peak Kanye. There are people that say the bass line of the song is amazing. Everything's, but there's a lot of space in the mix. Everything is important, and you need to hear all of it, and all of it like establishes like a vibe. Which is like your Kanye West like signature.
I love it though. You know?
It is a good bass line.
Put your hands to the
I don't know what the strings or whatever are sampled from in the back, but there's like you hear his voice. Everything is just like, it's crystal clear. It's just such a good track. All of these are almost every song on this album. Bro, this was Thriller for my generation, okay? That's what this album was. This was Thriller for my generation, okay? This fucking song? What the fuck? Oh, this song? Oh my god! It's such a good song, and it's so much fun. Nicki Minaj's verse on this is insane. That's just so good. Nigga just... I don't get it. It's such a... One thing he used to do that was also, maybe more rappers did this. I want to say this is like a Kanye signature. He was really good about like, every beat that he would make would kind of have like two parts to it. You have like all of your stuff is layered, and then he would always like peel back like a couple things. And then he was really good at like doing this kind of like A-Bing or whatever of his stuff. So like right here when our verse starts, like some of the percussion is peeled back. I don't think you have the boom, the whatever the synth is. He does this on a lot of his songs. It works. Add back in the whatever the snare thing is. Motherfucking. Take it away, and then we're gonna bring back all the synth thing or whatever. Does Nicki Minaj even make me? I don't know anything about this woman. She's like Kim Kardashian in my mind. This verse was so fucking insanely good though. Holy fuck. I feel like I tried to listen to one of her other songs. I'm like, this is trash. This verse was so good though. Money's so tall that my body's gotta climb it. Okay, fuck, stop. I don't wanna listen to this. You're making me depressed. He made Jesus walks. He made Jesus walks. Oh my God. I don't even know, was this sampled from anything or did he just write all this himself? I actually don't know. Does this come from anything? Songs, not just good songs, good lyrics too. Like they're good lyrics. It's got like a good message. Like it explores this album. Well, this wasn't My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but fuck. Sorry. Okay. Here are the samples. Walk with me. Don't worry, if there's hobo, we're all going. Oh, okay, cute. Oh, did he sampled this, the vocal solo too? She was on the song. Oh, dude, there's this whole generation of like, these like black singers that, I don't know what's on the radio these days. I'm getting old. Okay. We don't care about Kanye West anymore. We're not listening to this. What was this? Okay, don't care. I don't care about this today. I don't care. Okay, stop. Okay, don't care. We're done. Anyway, sorry. Oh yeah, King Crimson, the sample for Power, 21st Century Schizoid Man. Like, there's just like so much spammy shit. It's not like this isn't horrible, but okay. All right, I don't care. Stop. He's been doing the same song for a while now. Yeah, I don't know. The crazy shit is he can't still make quality tracks, but he can't get the A&R clearance. You mean he can make quality tracks, but he can't get the A&R clearance? I don't know what you're talking about. Kanye West could literally get clearance for whatever the fuck he wants to make. There is no shot that he gets told no by anybody these days in terms of what he can publish. Okay, this isn't bad. None of this is bad. Okay. All right, sorry. Back to politics. 41 seconds in.
Exactly what President Trump is doing as well.
Well, Senator, have you had that conversation with President Trump? Because clearly he's not doing exactly what you're saying.
On which piece?
A couple of them. Well, a whole bunch of them, right? There's still a conversation.
Kanye was getting declined by a lot of people for his views. You're out of the loop. There's no shot that Kanye couldn't just pay out of pocket for any producer or anybody to come and work on his shit. No, I'd be surprised if he was seriously talent limited. And he can publish stuff online, like...
The tariff piece is right there. You just said that you don't like the tariffs and you'd like them to be negotiations. He is trying to negotiate, I guess, but I think we still don't know. If you look at some of the tweets or Truth Social posts this morning, he's very happy about all the revenue that he's bringing in as a function of those tariffs. So remember, we've had this sort of incongruity about what's really happening here.
Oh, yeah?
So Andrew, your point is fair. There is a divide in this administration. There are two.
He's literally hanging out with Sneeko. He's hit rock bottom. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I could believe that Kanye can't find anybody. If he literally can't control himself, like if he's literally like, I need to be saying I love Hitler and everything everywhere I go, then maybe he actually would have trouble finding people, I guess. Maybe I'm just in my mind thinking like, can't you just pull it back a little? But actually, I don't know if he can pull it back a little, so...
Two camps on tariffs. By the way, there are also two camps on raising taxes, and I think the same camp is wrong on both of those. I believe that President Trump has an historic opportunity. I can tell you we have over 130 nations who have come to the White House, said, let's make a deal. We want to lower tariffs. We want to open up our markets. That is extraordinary, and I don't know which path we'll go down. I pray we don't go down the path of massive taxes and massive tariffs forever. If we go down the former path of using this leverage, there would be a rich irony if Donald J. Trump ended up the most free trade president that this country has ever seen. He has the opportunity to do that. You're right, we don't know yet, but I gotta say, a lot of folks in the media are ready to say, oh, we won't see that happen. I am hopeful. I've had that conversation multiple times with President Trump. There are a number of other people, including Scott Bessent and Elon Musk, who are urging the president, you have an opportunity to win one of the biggest wins for American workers we've seen in our lifetimes.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see about that, buddy, okay?
And yeah, I see all the lights, and damn, she fine. She want all the time, all my time. Goodbye, and goodbye, and goodbye. And yeah, I see all.
Okay. Do I have a good singing voice? Fuck no. I can sing pitches, but what you call it, the timbre, the tone, I have not practiced. I don't have a practice singing voice. If you do a music degree, though, any good music degree will force you to take at least one singing class. You should be able to internalize and hum pitches and shit. Is this AI? What? Okay, I don't know why. American maggots are falling for deepfakes of PM Carney banning lifted trucks and window tint.
Effective June, all vehicles manufactured before 2000 will be gradually phased off. Canadian roads, due to safety and emission.
Do you have perfect pitch? No.
Standards. Non-compliant window tints, including rear windows, are now prohibited. Drivers will have a 14-day grace period to install approved replacements. Lifts and or levels on trucks must be taken off.
They cook.
For not only the owner's safety, but for the people around, it doesn't make sense to have a truck jacked in the air. These will be taken very seriously.
That's why they want it. That's why they got.
You have relative pitch? Anybody that does music, in college should have very good relative pitch or perfect-ish relative pitch, yeah. I don't know what mine is anymore, but...
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much for dreaming big dreams and doing unprecedented things. Your entire life you have stood for doing things that other people thought they couldn't do and accomplishing unprecedented events and achievements. And so this is one of those events that I think is going to be remarkable and will stand the test.
Do you think you'd be able to make a beat in Fly Studio right now just using your music background? Yeah, making a beat is easy. You just need a track, or you just need like a fucking rhythm and a thing, and then you're there. Well, beats are easy. Making a good beat is difficult. I mean, what do you mean?
Test of time as the world's greatest sporting event ever held and conducted. You are honoring us by agreeing to be the chairman of this event. Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much for.
You need to help XQC. I watched him mess around a little bit, but I feel like half the fun for somebody like XQC is like messing around and like having fun with it. Having somebody step in and be like, oh, you gotta make sure that your voices are good here and blah, 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 and make sure that you're syncopating correctly. Like, I feel like you lose all the fun there, no?
Dreaming big dreams and doing unprecedented things. Your entire life you have stood for doing things that other people thought they couldn't do.
Glaze?
And accomplishing unprecedented events and achievements. And so this is one of those events that I think is going to be remarkable and will stand the test of time as the world's greatest sporting event ever held and conducted. You are honoring us by agreeing to be the chairman of this event. Well,
That's Jesus. Okay. Christ. I feel like learning is more fun with someone who can guide you in your mistakes, no? I mean, yeah, as long as the guy's not obnoxious. I mean, I can serve that role if he wants to. Listen, XC can always message me if he wants to. I don't want to impose on any of his shit. GOP balks at approving even a fraction of Musk's Doge cuts. Republican lawmakers have told administration officials that pushing sweeping cuts through Congress will be difficult. Uh-oh. Is this for the $150 billion that they were trying to save? Be difficult to codify even a small fraction of the measures that Musk's team unilaterally implemented, according to lawmakers and several other people familiar with the discussions. GOP members of Congress have also raised concerns about tackling cuts as Republicans are trying to corral their rowdy and tiny majorities into extending tax cuts in one big, beautiful bill that President Donald Trump has demanded. None of the activities of the Doge have heretofore had any impact on the budget, the debt, or the deficit until Congress acts. Those savings don't really become real, said Robert Shea, a Republican who served in senior political roles in the White House Budget Office. Good one. The roadblocks pose a major challenge for the White House on one of its top domestic priorities, cutting spending. Budget officials have for weeks brainstormed proposals for Republicans to give legal cover to the Doge cuts, of which the $9 billion request was supposed to be only the first. Not only $9 billion? They can't even cut $9 billion? Ah. Russell Vaught, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, has long speculated that Congress would not approve the package. Two of the people said, Jesus, if we can't pass a $9 billion rescission package, we might as well all pack it up, give in, and admit we're all going bankrupt. Jesus. Who is this? Tectones X Pinky Chew. I'm sorry, Pink Chewy. How do you pronounce this name? Pink Chew? Pink Chew? Speaks on his dad and him. She alleged that his dad couldn't stop talking about Emiru, joked about rape, made her extremely uncomfortable, told it wasn't a big deal. She also revealed earlier that she was working with police and just unsure and scared about how to come out with her story against Tectone. Why would you need the police to come out with a story? Okay. Wasn't going to say anything, but that guy would not stop talking about how he wanted to have relations with a podcast member, made jokes about women being raped in Vietnam, and made me extremely uncomfortable. I tried to say something and was told it wasn't a big deal. I said the women who accused him of SA in the military were liars, and I still can't believe he was allowed around other female CCs, content creators, including me. What is the background on Tectone's dad? Was he actually convicted of anything, or was it just like allegations and he got kicked out of the military, or what? Are you gonna cover India versus Pakistan? Maybe. He went to jail for 3 months, convicted and dishonorably discharged. Oh, well, damn. It was on congressional record. Congressional record doesn't mean shit. The conviction is stronger than congressional record. Anybody can read or say some bullshit in Congress. Fucking Diamond and Silk were in front of Congress. Will you cover the new Pope dropping soon? Only if he's black. I want a black Pope so badly, just so that conservatives lose their fucking mind. Listen, I hate Hassan and I want to shut on Hassan. Even if that means sometimes aligning myself with questionable people. I don't know about Tectone enough. But if you're gonna wield your dad as a weapon of war, then obviously his record is gonna come up. You can't say like, oh, like my dad fought for this country, blah blah blah, but also your dad is convicted of sexual assault. I mean, you can if you want to, but like you at that point you gotta take the good and the bad, I think, right? If you're gonna bring him out to do battle with him, then you get the pros and the cons of it, right? Why? Zionists can never answer these questions at the Omniliberal. 10,000 likes.
War in 47. Who fired the first shot?
Why is this guy... Is he listening to me like through a phone speaker? What? Okay. He cried on stream and he acted like it was his first time hearing about it? Rip.
The war in 47. Who fired the first shots? It was Palestinians. They would never admit that.
In 43, Warsaw, who fired the first shot? It was the Jews.
Why would you compare? In 43, there were already death camps. Weren't there? When did the first... There were death camps. Also, wait, hold on. When was the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising? Was in 43. Yes, there were already death camps. How? This isn't even remotely comparable. But okay.
They'll never admit it. In 1831, Nat Turner Rebellion, who fired the first...
Nat Turner Rebellion, they were slaves. They were slaves. Their whole population, they were literally slaves.
First shot, it was the blacks. They'll never admit it. In the Galactic Civil War, who fired the first shot at the Death Star? That would be the Rebel Alliance.
Didn't the Death Star, didn't it already literally blow up an entire planet before then? Or did that not happen until the next movie? They blew up Alderaan, they blew up... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. I feel like these are all of the worst comparisons you could have ever chosen, but all right.
The Jedi will never admit this. I have a better question for Zionists, which they never seem to be able to answer, which is, if you really believe that this was a war that started in 1947 and Israel and the Zionists were just defending themselves...
Why is it always the most reductionist view? I know why. It's because they can only... It has to be like the most simple one-dimensional thing. They were just defending themselves. Well, I mean, like they were... Like the relationship between these people was pretty complicated from like the 1920s onwards. Like it was a back and forth, truly, right?
Then why do we have the leader of the Zionist movement and the founder of Israel, its first prime minister, David Ben-Gurion, remarking in the late 30s, let us not ignore the truth among ourselves politically. We are the aggressors and they defend themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of there before the Jews that showed up there. Yeah, I mean, that's true, right? I don't know why like a speech of Jewish people acknowledging like this is why the Palestinians are fighting, you think somehow delegitimizes the entirety of their side, but okay. One of the very frustrating things also about the Middle East is you have this very weird world where, because Israel is a democracy, one, you have open records and archives for Israel that you can dig through. So you can find records and transcripts of old speeches like this. None of the neighboring Arab states would ever allow the same. And then two, because Israel is a democracy and it hosts separate points of views, you've got organizations in Israel that are highly sympathetic to Palestinians. For instance, Bet Salem, or like your more left-leaning media, you don't have this or anything remotely like this in the neighboring Arab states. So like dipshits like this will point to this like, well, what about this quote or this bad thing that Israel did? And it's like the only reason you literally the only reason you even know about this is because Israel like allowed you to go through historical archives and do research on it. Notice how we don't have any of this information about what was said in any of the cabinet meetings or behind closed door stuff for any of the Arab leadership ever. Notice that? But okay.
They meaning the Palestinians. The country is theirs because they inhabit it, whereas we want to come here and settle down, and in their view, we want to take away from them their country. How is it that the founder of Israel doesn't agree with you?
What do you mean doesn't agree with me? Do you think Ben Gurion didn't want to go to Palestine? Didn't want to take the Jews there and go, like, what do you mean didn't agree with me? He's just explaining why the Palestinians or why the Arabs there would have been reluctant to accept a huge influx of what they saw as European invaders essentially come in, which, I mean, anybody would obviously say is true, obviously. I've never said anything different, but...
Comment, please. Oh, you don't have one.
Oh, okay.
Weird. Why did the founder of Israel remark that if I were an Arab leader, I would never sign an agreement with Israel? It is normal. We have taken their country. We have come and we have stolen their country. Why would they accept that? Why do you, as a Zionist, not accept the words of the leader of Zionism?
Who everybody acknowledges this. It's you guys that don't accept that, by the way, because you guys make this dog shit argument that the reason why they rejected the partition in 47, the reason why they rejected the UN partition is because the Jews were given too much land. No, it's because the Jews were given any land. Even if it would have been 5% of the land, the Arabs would have refused that partition, right? The Jewish people that were there were politically pragmatic. They understood the reality of the situation. They understood why the people there were fighting against them. But again, I've always said as much.
And the founder of the State of Israel. Here's another question that Zionists can never seem to answer. Why do they never acknowledge the many massacres committed by Zionist paramilitary forces in the interwar period of 1917 to 1938, which was a full decade before Israel was period of 19...
Interwar period. What was the war before 47 or 48? There were massacres. There were fights on both sides. Yeah, of course.
1917 to 1938, which was a full decade before Israel was even created. Why do you not consider those as first shots? Even Google AI has more objectivity than you.
But nobody said any different. But where do you think the Irgun and the Lehi came from? I'm pretty sure both of these more radical paramilitary sects were literally developed in response to Arab attacks on Jewish people because they thought that the Haganah wasn't being radical enough in their response, basically.
They acknowledge that the Zionist
interwar refers to the time between World War I and World War II. Gotcha.
This paramilitary organization Haganah's objectives included supporting illegal Jewish immigration. Why
are you quoting an AI summary? Okay.
Illegal Jewish immigration. Why are you so neglectful of history? If Zionist Jews were simply just defending their homeland, then why was the main organization devoted to colonizing Palestine recognizing itself as the Jewish Colonization Association?
I think back then, because people weren't, people didn't play the same word games where they have to think of a different euphemistic word for everything, and they just called it whatever the fuck. I mean, it was essentially a type of colonization project, sure. But Jewish colonization, was this one of the two organizations that were working a lot? I feel like this fell out of favor. Let me check. Hold on. What were the names of the Zionist councils? I feel like they created two big organizations to facilitate. I think one was for handling money and one I thought was for handling people. What were these called? The Jewish Colonization Association was an organization created on September 1891. Its aim was to facilitate the mass immigration of Jews from Russia and other Eastern European countries by selling them agricultural settlements. Okay. I thought the first one, the Jewish Agency. I think that was one of them. The Jewish Agency for Israel. And then wasn't there a second one? The Jewish Agency, I think, was the big one, I think. It was established in 1929 as the operative branch of the World Zionist Organization. Maybe it was just the Jewish Agency for Israel. But I think that was the big one that facilitated most of the financial stuff and most of the most of the transfer, not this Jewish colonization. Like I said, I think most of the first and second Aliyah, I think basically failed because the conditions sucked. They didn't have money or capital. And I think most of the people that ended up going basically left because they were like, fuck this shit.
Why wasn't it called the Jewish Liberation Association for that matter?
Nakba, what did that happen at the back of? It was a war between all the Arab states and Israel. They won't answer that.
In 1947, the UN passed Resolution 181, which called for the partitioning of Palestine into a large Jewish state and a smaller Arab one.
Like, again, I mean, strictly, that's kind of true. But the Arabs had the good land there. They had the whole of the West Bank, which I think is considered the most fertile and the nicest land to have. And the majority of what the Jews were given was the Negev. It sucked. Also, this resolution, I'm pretty sure on the Arab land was like 95% Arabs. And I think it was like on the Jewish one, the Jewish partition, it would have been, I think it was like 55% Jews and 45% Arabs. I wonder if they have any of that listed here. Hold on. Also, the Arabs downvoted this. They were like, fuck no. Fuck no. I don't know. They don't have details over here. But like, I mean, you can look and see the land. I guess if you know anything about the land, right? This was what people will say, like, the Jews were given so much. And it's like, you have your nice coastal area up here, for sure, especially for Haifa and Jaffa. But then this whole nice area of the West Bank is given to the Palestinians. You've got your Gaza Strip, a decent chunk of border with Egypt here. Like, most of the land given here, this is trash. I don't even think anything exists here today. Like, you can go south to Eilat, I think. Or is it Aqaba? Is that what it is? Wait, why did I say Eilat? What's the name of the... Isn't that like a port city down here? Wait, this is the Sinai. That's not even Israel. Oh, no, it is. It's Eilat, right? Is Aqaba the name of the port? Or is that over in Jordan? I don't know where the fucking country starts. But like this whole, like nobody, I don't think anybody even fucking lives in here. This place sucks. You have some, oh my God, who is it? Arabs. It's not Druze, is it? No, it's the other, who are the... Bedouin, that's it, yeah. You're a Bedouin, you're roaming nomad Arabs. Maybe living in the Negev, I guess. But like nobody lives down here. Even today, this place sucks. Look, this place sucks shit. Like, who cares?
The resolution itself was the declaration of war.
No, the declaration of war was when Israel declared itself independent in 48. Unless he's saying the Palestinians started their attacks in response to the resolution, which I think might have been true. To be honest, it's a pretty shitty deal for Arabs when they envisioned and were promised a whole unified Arab state, and in this offer, the three areas are not even connected. I don't disagree. I think that they were right to feel pretty slighted. But I mean, the Brits overpromised. I mean, the Brits technically didn't make any guarantees to the Arabs ever. They did make a guarantee to the Jewish people. The Jews were able to secure that guarantee in the Balfour Declaration. But I mean, Britain promised to the Jews. Britain gave mandates to all the surrounding states and this one. So the Arabs felt like it was a shitty situation that everybody was set up in. I mean, like I said, if you're going to ask me in 47 or 48, like, do the Palestinians or do the Arabs have a right, to go to war with the Israelis or the Jewish people to try to kick them out? I think they did. I think they had right to fight there, of course. But I mean, at some point, like, the fighting has to end. You have to call a winner, right? But
providing the international birth certificate for a Jewish state in a largely Arab majority land, which in and of itself is a war crime.
Well, I mean, there were mandates there. I don't think this would have been considered a war crime, but...
Because it violates the principle of self-determination.
That's technically the self-determination here. Actually, I believe the way that the mandates worked. If you want to go the ultra-Zionist route, the ultra-Zionist route would tell you that the mandate said that whichever stable government emerged from the mandatory period inherits all of the land as part of its government to do what it wants. So some people will argue, I think I argued with one of these guys, Some people will argue that technically, from the river to the sea, all of mandatory Palestine was Israeli owned by definition of the expiration of the mandate. Technically, we'll say that, but
which is enshrined by the UN Charter.
You say you want a one-state solution. Does that mean a one-state solution with an unlimited right of return for Palestinians? They will say yes. Does that mean the Jews are going to live there as a minority? They have to say yes.
Gosh, this is so confusing. I mean, when you say that you want South Africa to not be an apartheid state and just be one state where all citizens have equal rights.
The comparison to other things just don't work. In some ways, I love this. I really do. And I'm not being facetious when I say this, okay? Although it sounds that way. I really like that in the West, we have done, even though it seems like we're racing, we've done a tremendous job at integrating so many different types of people together that we actually can't even fathom some forms of ethnic conflict. We can't even imagine. We're just like, oh, there's white people and there's black people and there's Arabs and it's all like just, it's very simple and everybody can live in harmony and nobody has, right? This is not how people in other parts of the world operate all the time, okay? For South Africa, first of all, there's plenty of other countries where white people live, okay? South Africa was not the sole country for white people in the entire world where white people were being persecuted all over the world like Jews were. If anything, you would argue that white people were the exploiters of the rest of the world. So it's kind of failing a comparison there, number one. Number two, the conflict in South Africa, I can't tell you the start of apartheid, but I seriously doubt that the start of apartheid was anywhere near the same as the start of the conflict between Jews and Arabs in terms of like the land being promised to two people basically fighting over it. Three, I don't think that it's the same when Jews and Arabs fought over Israel for land versus South Africa saying some of our citizens are literally, everybody that's different skin color is basically just going to be treated as a different type of human being on the basis of their skin color. It doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not, just on the basis of your skin color, right? Because in Israel, there are 2 million Arabs that have full Israeli citizenship and enjoy more or less all the benefits that Israeli citizens do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nelson Mandela himself, in leading the ANC, actually did fear that after if the ANC were to do a ton of terrorist attacks and shit, that the population would never be able to come together again. So that's one of the reasons why they explicitly avoided doing terrorist attacks on civilian populations. Hamas doesn't do this. The South Africa comparison is just not a good one. It's not very strong.
Be an apartheid state and just be one state where all citizens have equal rights regardless of their religion or ethnicity. Does that mean that black people now have the same rights as white people? Are you saying that the whites now have to be a minority in South Africa?
Like, I think what Jews would say is like, okay, well, can you point to me right now, all of the Arab states where Christians are super safe and feel like they have equal protections and rights as the majority population? Like, if we were to go through all of the Muslim majority states or all of the Arab majority states and look at these, on average, what would the track record be? And keep in mind that these Christians and other religious minorities typically can flee to other areas. Those that can't sometimes get uber fucked. See the Kurds or the Armenians, or I'm sure there are more groups I just don't know about. Anybody in Yemen.
Does that mean that black people now have the same rights as white people? Are you saying that the whites now have to be a minority in South Africa? Stephen, if there's less of them, then yes.
Why can't the Palestinians go back to any of the other 49 Muslim states or 20 or so Arab states on the...
I think I have that backwards. I think there's like 40 or 50 Arab states and I think like 20 Muslim majority states, I think. But...
planet, why do they have to have Israel? I'd be curious to hear them talk about that.
I especially love when Zionists make the same argument for the ethnic cleansing of Palestine as Hitler did for the ethnic cleansing of Jews from Germany. Why does an American...
Wait, what? How is this the same at all?
Ethnic cleansing of Jews from Germany. Why doesn't America take the Jews? Why doesn't England take the Jews? Nobody wants the Jews. Wait, are you saying that we shouldn't be mass murdering Palestinians because they're the indigenous majority? And
well, I actually can't even, hold on, my brain is working at max capacity right now. I have no idea how these arguments link together at all. I'm sorry, hold on.
Especially love when Zionists make the same argument for the ethnic cleansing of Palestine as Hitler did for the ethnic cleansing of Jews.
Hitler advocated for the ethnic cleansing of Jews because he believed that Jewish people were part of a grand conspiracy to backstab and destroy Germany after World War I, and then just the general rift of anti-Semitism that had flowed through Europe, through Germany, and then carried itself into the Nazi Party and everything. Like, Jews were literally evil to these people. It wasn't enough to just get rid of them. They also wanted to kill them too, right? Like, I think Hitler, in conquering other countries, even would tell these countries, like most of the death camps, I think, right? Most of them, I think, were built in Poland. I feel like he had conversations with other country leaders. I think this came up in the book Lying About Hitler, Lying About Hitler, where Chris Evans, he's the one who wrote the trilogy that we're still reading. I think Hitler literally communicated to other leaders, like, you need to round up your Jewish population and put them in camps. Like, if we're going to work with you or take you over, you have to get all of your Jews out of here. Like, it's not the same. Richard Evans, yeah.
Jews from Germany. Why doesn't America take the Jews? Why doesn't England take the Jews?
America did take some Jews in the early 1900s, and then we stopped. In the 1920s or 30s, I think, America stopped.
Nobody wants the Jews. Wait, are you saying that we shouldn't be mass murdering Palestinians because they're the indigenous majority and we want to make them eventually the minority in their own land? That's bad? Zionists try not to adopt Hitlerian
someone said 1921 and 1924, okay.
Rhetoric to justify and defend their genocide challenge impossible. Treating the Middle East as a monolith of Arab states that have no distinct cultures or peoples of their own is a racist stereotype. And again, that...
Why, dude, the jump to racism, you can't even like have an honest conversation. I agree that you can't treat the Arab countries as a monolith anymore, but they used to function more monolithically in the past. I argue that this is the reason why people think that Jews control the world or have good propaganda. I think it was more just the Jewish story originally was, I think, incredibly inspiring and somewhat heroic, because it literally was, or at least it felt like, the entire Arab world against Israel. But especially since the 90s, since the fall of the Soviet Union, I think that's fallen off hardcore. And you can't make that same argument when the Jewish state is more or less a friendly relationship with Egypt, Jordan, with the Gulf states for the most part. And it's really just Israel bullying Palestinians, which is why I think popular support for Israel is going to continue to fall off. And I don't think that it's going to get better. But Israel's no one to blame but themselves for that.
Treating the Middle East as a monolith of Arab states that have no distinct cultures or peoples of their own is a racist stereotype. And again, that talking point does not defend or justify a genocide. Just as Hitler saying that America should take the Jews or Africa should take the Jews did not justify or defend what he did.
Like, I don't know, the Holocaust doesn't really have anything to do with what's happening in Israel-Palestine today, but okay. Based. Someone needs to blow the lid off the extent and power of the Destiny Brigade. This goes far beyond just H3/Hassan drama. This is exactly what is ruining the internet and having a huge impact on political discourse. They are literally trying to rewrite history and control the entire discourse of the internet, an army of engagement that is not acting in good faith in the slightest. I'm going to be honest, this shit actually, I'll be honest, I'll let them know, this actually does, it gets to me. This triggers the fuck out of me when I see people say this. These people engage in the most like disgusting historical rewrites of everything they possibly can. They are obsessed with controlling the factual record on everything. And the microsecond they get the slightest bit of pushback, they lose their mind. Like, how many, I don't even know what the fuck this subreddit is. Leftovers H3. There's like 15 of these anti-fan subreddits, plus other forums that talk about me, plus other huge streamer and YouTuber communities that all work together to push the same misinformation. Like, look, like when Ethan did his content nuke, what other big creators were in his video? Let's see, you had Ethan. That's it. When iDubbbz did his, he brought in the entire lefty squad, plus all of their communities. Like, and we're saying that there's a brigade on the other side? It's actually so crazy. Like, these people literally have discords and shit and forums and subreddits where they're spam posting links to other subs to try to get mods, to try to brigade, to try to get people banned, to spam report. It's like insane. Holy shit. This is legitimately one of the biggest threats the world faces right now. Brigaded posts on Destiny-adjacent subs are reaching the homepage of Reddit, and comment pages throughout the internet are being manipulated to make it seem like fringe ideas are actually popular and mainstream. Of course, this is happening about topics beyond H3, Hassan, and Ian as well, but honestly, the Destiny Brigade is the most rabid and influential I've seen in all my years on the internet. I suspect that similar groups manipulating more serious political topics are a little better at covering their tracks. It's also fucking dangerous and goes far beyond any YouTube drama. We need a big name to blow the lid off. Like, I'll talk to any of these people. Listen, if anybody wants to debate, argue, go over any other topics on any of those, I'll do it. You guys are the ones that hide in the fucking shadows, that hide in the dark, okay? That have to spam posts from these weird, obscure Discord servers and avoid conversation or confrontation like the fucking plague. And you want to accuse like other communities of doing disingenuous brigading? Get the fuck out of here. I've been saying this for a while, but there needs to be an expose on the community and individuals responsible for the brigade. Like, what expose? Bro, we do all of our shit is in the open. You can join our Discord and read it. You can join our subreddit and read it. There's no export, okay? There is no invasion Discord or top secret room. The most secret group I belong to is my Discord autism group chat with like 9 people. That's it. There is no... That's why there's never been anything about like the Destiny fucking brigade board or the invading army of DGG or like... Andrew Wilson, talk shit here.
Right? So it's like, it's not a joke though, right? You think a Coomer gremlin like Destiny would ever in a million years, if he didn't have, $2 million in the bank and a bunch of YouTube fame, ever fuck any of these chicks? Yeah, right. They would literally scrape this shit off their shoe. They'd walk by. They wouldn't even give this guy a second glance or a third. It's not even
really
a
first, I don't think.
It's not even a matter of charisma. You can't help what you're attracted to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is such a weird claim. I've addressed this like a million times. People will say things like, if only you didn't talk about, this particular thing. So in my case, like being a famous streamer or whatever, like nobody would like you. It's like, okay, if you remove the aspect of my life, my career, that I've spent the last 15, 16 years building, nobody would like you. That's probably true. What would I even have at that point? I've literally spent my entire life building towards my career. I would hope that people are attracted to me as a result of stuff related to this. I mean, like that, but it would be like going to like a doctor or a lawyer or being like, oh, women just like you because you're a doctor. If it wasn't for that, no one cares. Like, okay, well, the guy went to med school. The guy did his residency. He's doing all this shit. I would hope that that's like an attractive quality. I mean, it's such a weird burn. Like, it's the idea that you have to go out into the street and pick people up without talking about any of your background or any of your credentials or anything else. I mean, I don't know. I had a kid before I was ever a streamer. Like, I had girlfriends and shit before I was ever a streamer. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
You think we have to convince this guy because of how good looking he was? It's like, give me a fucking break with this shit. Right. Yeah,
so
right.
I think we need men. Men need to kind of lead the way. So how do men do that? Because
give them a mission.
You're giving kind of these, it seems like you're just...
I don't want to go into the personal text between him and his wife and the kids and everything, but I don't know. It's okay. Whatever you say, Chief. Damn, especially with Crowder there, going through the... Damn, that's a room full of, Fuck, no, man, I don't know. It's a room full of winners over there. Was Andrew's excuse for bailing in the debate not knowing the topics beforehand? Isn't that something he was able to take advantage of in the Jubilee debate? So, the thing was, originally in our debate, we were supposed to debate... I think Atheists for Liberty reached out... And they said that they wanted a debate about, like, what... Let me find this so I don't get this wrong. Topics include Christianity versus secularism, which offers the more ethical system. That's, like, broadly, I think, what the original topic was. And then... I think, we were kind of circling this topic of like, which offers a better ethical system and is America a Christian nation? And then my response was, I'm way more into the policy world at the moment. So stuff about, is Trump making America safer? Is our foreign policy ethical or moral? Do we have an obligation to take care of people around the world? Stuff related to our tariffs and whatnot. And then he responded, the organizer, I understand. Would you be open to the following topics? Is America a Christian nation? Should religion be involved in government? And what direction is the nation heading in? Subtopics for the last would include the administration's crackdowns on freedom of speech, the treatment of our neighboring countries, and the redefining of American values. And then I said, the last one I guess would be okay. Yeah, sure. He said, wonderful. Just want to make sure we're absolutely clear. Does that mean you're fine with questions on all these topics or only the last one? And I said, I can do questions on all of these topics. Sure thing. And then they sent me a contract. Supposedly, Andrew Wilson was forwarded the same stuff at this point and agreed and signed the contract, I guess. But then a few days before, Apparently, Andrew Wilson said, I feel like you guys tricked me or misled me. I didn't want to argue. I don't want to talk about Trump at all. I don't want to talk about Trump or anything to do with Trump. I just want to talk about Christianity and American values. And then he bailed as a result. So I don't know why or what, but that's apparently. Because he knows Trump is indefensible right now? Probably. Please remember that Andrew ambushed that atheist guy and shot on him for bailing. Then Andrew runs now. Nice. Did he jump off the Trump train? No, I just think that like people, I think it's very, very, very hard. You've got to do a lot to defend Trump's actions right now. And it's probably better to just avoid them completely and not talk about them. I think it's really hard. I think it's really difficult right now. I am super ass pain though, because the day of that flight, the Piers people, they always email or they message you at like the last minute. I almost skipped the debate, but I missed the one in California, so I would have felt really bad. And Andrew bailed on this one, so I would have felt really bad. Hey Destiny, reaching out because I'm hoping you join us for a U.S. politics debate at 1 p.m. ET. This was the day that I flew out for that debate 2 days ago, I think. And the I hope you're well. Any chance you'll be able to join us in the 1 p.m. ET hour today for a panel discussion on what Democrats need to do to take on Republicans? On the panel, we will have Cornel West, Geraldo Rivera, Marianne Williamson, and Stephen A. Smith. That hurt. Are there any black people up for Pope? Or is it all white people? I don't even remember the structure for how they choose us. Which is bad, because I'm pretty sure it's a pretty Catholic thing. One black guy? Wait, was Peter real? The first was Peter the first pope? Was he a real dude, or is he like legend or myth, or they're not sure? I actually don't. Fuck me, dude. My Catholic history is. He was real. Okay. He was the first one, right? On the rock I built this bullshit. Have there been any Trump appearances lately? Do American Catholics care about the Pope? You should. He's literally the head of the church. Yeah. I guess in a way, I feel like kind of Protestants and Catholics are kind of, it's kind of like Sunni Shia, right? Because I think Sunnis believe that you can trace Muhammad's descendants and know them exactly, and Shia believe you can't? Or is it the opposite? Where Shia believe, is that the Ayatollah? Is the descendant down and through Muhammad or whatever? I don't remember, but I think that's one of the big differences. It's the opposite. Okay, it's the opposite. In a broad reductive sense, sure, I think there are other differences. No one cares. Quite literally, a few centuries ago in Europe, there were Catholic-Protestant wars. There were also times in Catholic history, I think, where there were schisms in the church, where there were multiple popes. I think at their height, I think there were 3 declared popes at one point for a brief period in time. Holy shit. Blade is the pope? Destiny, the only difference between Protestants and Catholics is if they believe in the Pope. I don't think that's true. I think there's quite a few differences now. Protestant, I think, is just broadly... Protestant just means not Catholic, right? They broke... I don't remember my... I think they broke from the... was this the Church of England? Because he wanted to divorce and remarry some bitch, and the church said no, and he wanted to, and then that's where Protestantism started. Or was it with Lutheran and the door and the nail? Not Catholic, not Orthodox. Oh, are there Orthodox Catholics? That's the Anglicans? Dude, religion is cringe, okay? It's like the most boring lore. They need more superpowers.